especially being swept back by that air sweeper. Queen goes down, and it is a 1-star. All hope is lost for Bads, except for a miracle.
They're going to go down, so this one could start to fade really quickly. Healers are all out, Itsu, and now that Crusher Mortar is crushing this attack.
The Skeleton Trap is the clutch defense on these bases, denying the triple and finding Dima frustrated.
Maybe 80% 2-star. This is not what Dizzy X Stamina needed whatsoever in this attack. It's now back to Dizzy, and they're back to ground. But we see the Fireball in the mix to make sure that he gets the value. There goes the Invis, and we have the Fireball connecting and having a really big impact.
Definitely seemed like exactly where he wanted that Fireball to go in. In the last sec, it felt like, you know, he wanted the King to get a little bit more value, so maybe the Fire Mites would get there, but with the King getting 0 value, getting shut down instantly, Fire Mites unable to do anything. I love this setup right here, though, for this the Flame Flinger, rather, after that Fireball.
First couple of shots are connecting, and we all know if those healers are going down, the attack is not going to last any longer. He's going to overgrowth the core to make sure the town is the next building, but the healers are taking a lot of damage, so if there is now any red mines, those healers will be gone.
Yeah, they're barely hanging on there, but as long as they're alive, they're able to provide that support that the Root Riders need. Oh, there goes one. One healer is down from a Seeking Air Mine. Here comes a poison, and if those healers go through the poison, which it looks like they are, they're going to go down. So this one could start to fade really quickly. Healers are all out, Itsu, and now that Crusher Mortar is crushing this attack.
But that is not going to help the attacker whatsoever. The Yetis at the top are trying their best to somehow get as many buildings as possible. But it feels like with the Monolith, with the Multi-Arch Tower, this is not going to get the distance. And this is another chance for Electros to somehow catch up.
Yeah, it seems like Dizzy has given Electros all the chances they need, but Electros have to capitalize at some point. This next attack, they really don't have enough time. Like, this next attack has to be a 3-star.
Rapid fast attack early on with Rocket Ludes already landing in and an RC charge going for the bottom corner, Carbon.
And with the Dark Crown on the minion, Prince, the Royal Champion, does secure that multi. The nice thing is the Poison Spell did not get launched to the Royal Champion. Does he make the Spitter invisible so she can go to the Monolith? Wait, nope. Gonna take out the Spitter. Spirit Fox is now dead. I think, yeah, okay, there's the Invis onto the Sweeper. I like it. And then passes the Monolith. Should be able to... Yeah, perfectly intentional, because then the boots can help damage it. Slash now take it all down. And then he could possibly take out the Clan Castle because he's in this area.
What? This is Mondo value. Tornado Trap triggers, but the CC does go down, and the RC is going to get the Town Hall, right?
No.
Oh, just short.
The builders are there, or at least I think... No, the builders are the Multi-Arch Tower. But this is where you need a giant arrow, or even just like one Earthquake. That one Earthquake would have helped so much.
Dima is looking very healthy on the entrance here. At least it's going to be a 2-star for sure, but can we wrap around and claim the triple?
Yeah, all he have to do is like just one tap the Town Hall. I think if he pops Minion Prince ability, it'll go down. Like, does it?
Oh.
Or maybe no, let's see. He's got the dark. Okay, no, it won't go down because it'll just slow it down. But one shot or two, okay, 2 shots goes down as these dragons continue their way through this top side into this air defense. But now the big thing is time. Time's ticking here.
42 seconds, but only a 19% of the base. A lot of defenses still standing on the bottom right side. Tesla's, Multi-Archer Tower, Air Defense. These are not things that Dragons want to have to go up against. Top side are still trying to power through. Only 4% of the space left, 18 seconds, and they're trying beyond hope to make it to the end. Inferno Dragon could help a little bit. Lots of DPS to be able to stack through there, but it is distracted by enemy Skeleton Trap. And once again, the Skeleton Trap is the clutch defense on these bases, denying the triple and finding Dima frustrated.
That is correct. We see. Oh, wait a second. One moment. He's having to save the Royal Champion. She has lost her ability already, and I'm recalling her right now.
Oh.
Both, which means Fox and as well the Royal Champion on super low hit points. And the pathing now for the Root Riders is not optimal, because this means that you have the Expo alive, and this could open compartments you do not want to open up here. The poison onto the furnace on defense, but this is just so much damage on the troops early on. The healers are frozen up.
What I also noticed was he doesn't have the Eternal Tome. Notice here, he's got the Healing Tome, healing things up, and the Rage Gem. But unfortunately, things have completely split.
There's not that many buildings on the back end, which he could one-shot. With that spiky ball, he only damaged buildings, but they're getting repaired back up again with those builder huts. And this is going to be a, well, maybe 80% 2-star. This is not what Dizzy X Stamina needed whatsoever in this attack.
If you don't get the value from the RC, especially when you're doing an investment like an RC charge in the Invis, you're just not going to be able to recover from that, as the Queen does help get towards the 83. Sneezy's trying to get at least one more building. No, probably will not be able to get that, as it finishes with an 83% 2-star.
But let's get things ready. We're seeing throwers, which I'm quite excited about, but we're seeing actually the minion prints with it together, which is surprising. But I mean, I'm all up for it. Let's go.
I'm taking some notes as well. It's a fireball throwers, earthquakes right through the core, damages the Queen as well in the process. And the healers onto the sword to help set up that funnel. But the flame blinger taking so much damage from that one archer tower.
Wow, okay, that was kind of cool. He knows, okay, the flame finger is going to this direction, but we all know Expos are actually outranging the flame finger. So he turns the wizard tower invisible to directly target the Expo, take it out, and now the flame finger could take down all of this right part of the base. The only downside is, though, that the flame finger already took so much damage, which means he's not getting the crazy value he was anticipating.
That's wild, as these throwers are going to be able to reach the town hall from the walls. Doesn't have to break in. They'll just reach over, grab that value, continue his way to the left, and still hanging on to the king and the minion prince. But like you mentioned, the flame flinger is now gone. It was supposed to continue to get the value into that multi, but it did not get it because it took so much damage from that arch tower.
Now we have the minion prince on the back end with the metal pants together, supposed to take down all of those defenses back there. And I can totally see what the plan was. I would just like to see, or would have liked to see, how all of this shaped up if that flame finger would have not been taking damage early on, because those throwers are just circling the outside right now. It's not like a regular thrower smash like you would see on YouTube or something. No, those throwers are only supposed to pretty much walk around the outside, reach into the base, and then it's a surgical approach. But on this one, just did not work out. With 48 seconds, I don't think that he can make it all the way.
You get a 2-star, and that is enough. Do not have to get a 3-star or even the high percentage. 50% 2, and you will be winning this match, staying in the upper bracket, as this is the first match, and there are 7 more matches here today.
That would really put Elevate in a tough and awkward position going into the mid-war with a 2-star deficit. They would be awfully far behind, but can he pull it off? A Royal Champion charge a bit more standard and by the book for this entry point here. And she's looking pretty safe. Does catch a tornado and giant bomb right before the recall, so nice trap triggering by her.
I'm not gonna lie, one of the most satisfying things when you're doing a Royal Champion charge is the recaller just before, let's say, you trigger the tornado trap like that, or even better, if you trigger a tornado trap and a Giga Bomb, both at the same time, pull her back before any damage. Oh, it's the best feeling. But let's see, as ND is pushing this RC through, the Root Riders too, but oh goodness, they are taking so much damage here.
They just got walloped earlier on in this hit before that Grand Warden ability could even pop, and now they have taken a massive beating. The healers there are trying to top them back off, but with that monolith firing away at the Archer Queen now. There's going to be a little bit of an awkward entry point, forcing out that overgrowth spell. Timing is still going to be fine here for Indy, but with the CC coming out, he's got to be able to take it down awfully quickly. Rocket Loons of his own coming in on the bottom right side. The enemy Archer Queen's going to be sniping away at those. Meanwhile, the rest of his attack is doing everything it can to push into the core of the base, but it's going slow.
The Town Hall, I think, is going to stay. Woody, he's got a problem here. Oh, there's at least one Root Rider. Is going to rely on this one Root Rider to continue to try to open up to the Town Hall. That is his hope. Pops Queen ability. Giant comes into the core to go for that monolith.
No,
but
it's going for the outside.
The Town Hall is remaining. Oh, no.
Archer Queen ability has already been popped. She does have a lot of healers, but that is about to be a massive amount of firepower, and they just will not be able to shut it down, especially being swept back by that air sweeper. Queen goes down, and it is a 1-star, 74%. Well, Teamper knows that if he just gets a 2-star, then Elevate can walk all over the last base with a 2-star of their own and finish off this war in their favor to claim that $15,000 grand prize. Teamper needs a triple here and now, and then an excellent defense against the last attack from Elevate. Nothing that you can definitely rely on, and so he has got to put every ounce of pressure that he has against this assault. Holding on to 4 healers, an Apprentice Warden. He's got a lot of support troops ready to back up a big old Root Rider assault. Didn't go too deep into this space with the early strike from the Royal Champion, but with the Giant Arrow, he's cutting up a lot of those interior defenses. One Rocket Loon pops out of the CC, and a few more distraction air skeletons are going to have to cause a little bit of mayhem to keep Teamper at bay. Still, the monolith is still standing with 2 support multi-target Infernos right next to them. That is going to be a lot of damage dished out onto this main force. The rest of these C2 troops are trickling out now, and the poison spell got a little bit of value onto the furnace on the backside, but the Ice Golem is going to slow things down even more on the top side, and an Ice Golem right there in the core. The monolith is just going to be wailing away at the frontline troops now without any way to get rid of it that quickly. They have brought one Root Rider way far down. The pathing is still a little bit scary with the last minute of the attack at 70% and 1-star. Teamper needs to finish this base off and clear his tribe team to a victory.
We just have the Earthquake Boots, which opens up the walls for the Queen on the backside. She's going to follow the King now through into this Town Hall. We have a Ricochet Cannon to the far right. We have one Headhunter, a Goblin as well to use. Try to help be used for cleanup, but only 30 seconds now remain. And Elevate is happy. They're thinking, yeah, this is not going to convert because the Queen's dead. Panto celebrating, and it is a defense for Max. And that's 30,000 just within 2 months.
But right now we're focused on this Royal Champion charge. He's looking to take out this whole compartment up top here. Getting out the Crusher Mortar, the multi-gear tower, that multi-inferno. Those will be huge pickups, and he's running out of spells. That's his last invisibility. So he's gonna have to shift focus. There he goes, gets the multi-gear, gets the Crusher Mortar. Exactly what he was hoping for.
Log Launcher rolling through 2, should be able to get some more chip damage off on the monolith, but unfortunately with those 2 Battle Builder huts in range, they're going to be able to top it back off. A big defense still standing for him to deal with, but he did get that Crusher Mortar out of commission. A really big shot off of the table now for these Root Riders to be able to power through clockwise around this base. Let's check that Log Launcher. Is about to pop, see what's in there as the rest of this army is collapsing toward the interior. We have got some Yetis joining the action, Bash.
Oh man, they're gonna pop out there and hopefully get the monolith down with those Yeti mites. He does have the full Clan Castle pool as well. Ice Golem, Rocket Loon in there. The Rocket Loon's gonna continue to rain damage on those Yetis, but that'll help those Yeti mites get out and take down that monolith before it can deal any damage to the main force. Here goes the Rocket Spear from that Royal Champion, but she might be in an awkward position. Actually, I love that overgrowth. That should push her back in with the main force. Yeah, and she does just that. She's gonna join up with the main army yet again. Oh wait, no, she turns back around. She's going to the scatter.
Archer Queen gets the lock on there, and so we will be able to secure the 2-star bouncy spiky ball with that Barbarian King ready to roll. Still holding on to a free spell at the end, and what is left on defense to worry about?
Keep an eye, they just got that Royal Champion down. I was gonna say keep an eye on that defending Royal Champion. She's getting ready to engage the Queens, but the 3 Queens able to focus fire and get her dealt with along with that Headhunter. Scatter shots in there. The main thing we need to worry about is the clock. He's only got 5 seconds.
You only got 5 seconds!
There's not enough time for Rikira to get through here.
Oh my
98.
goodness!
He does have that Angry Jelly on the Warden, so we should see Fireball setup as he does have 6 Invises, 3 Earthquakes. Let's see if he can send this Fireball deep into the core. Man, there's a lot of great targets. Maybe if he can get onto that Ricochet cannon here, he can get off that multi-gear tower, the CC, or if he can go right in there for the multi-gear tower itself. But the Warden's under a lot of trouble up there. Keep an eye on the Warden. Don't zoom in too much there. No, let's not get too eager. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. The Fireball will come when it comes. But you got to remember, there's 35 seconds on that Angry Jelly.
Snipes the Royal Champion, gets a Headhunter in for her. With the Tesla down now, taking out that Expo. Oh no, he's just gonna invis it. So much damage into the interior with an Earthquake aplenty. Just shattering that core. Kronos has really done a massive number on this space and will pivot off now with the Rage Gem on that Grand Warden to help these Root Riders go even further. I'm feeling so good about his chances for this attack, Bash. The healers are taking a massive hit on the backside there. The Poison Tower there took them way down into the red. He ought to pop that heal. Yeah, there he goes as quick as he can. Looks like he still has 3 healers up. Taking some more heat from that Fire Spitter. Another healer does go down. I wish that heal spell had just come in a little bit sooner to keep those healers topped off, but Kronos still powering through to the bottom side, has got a chance to make this work. Holding on to 3 abilities, including that Spiky Ball, ready to rock it with that Royal Champion. Monolith is firing away at a Root Rider. That's going to take away another big blocker out front, and it looks like he's just going to have to rely on the heroes for the backside, Bash.
With the,
I think
the
it
Spiky
is.
Ball, I think it feels good, right?
It feels pretty good. Yeah, he's got 50 seconds left. Pops the Spiky Ball. There it goes. We've got some cleanup on the outer edge with a Wizard and plenty of taking still left. Big Giant Bomb goes off, but that is not going to stop this raid. 8 seconds left in the Giant and the Wizard need to finish off that Elixir Collector on the outer edge. 4 seconds. 3 seconds.
It's not enough
He's
time.
got his hands in his face.
Oh, no.
Not enough time. Ninja knows that his team needs him more than ever right now to score a triple and then find an amazing clutch defense on the last line of attack. Oh no.
Warden ability has been popped, and you saw it from Ninja's reaction. He did not like that.
Ninja finding a big blockade of defenses, just pounding away at his troops, and with no way to shut it down, he would need perfect deployment at this point on to get the triple, and finding such difficulty in hard mode, it is difficult to imagine that is going to be possible. RC does get the lock in the Town Hall though, and the first star is claimed. Second will come at the 50% mark, but so much work yet to be done on this base, and all he's got is one more overgrowth spell left to deploy and a freeze. Holding on to a few hero abilities, he still has a chance here. Will bounce that Spiky Ball early on in this base, trying to get a little bit more chip damage done against those clutch defenses. Is he going to freeze a Monolith, maybe?
As he does have Queen ability, but there is so much still left on the backside of this base, and he knows it. Unfortunately, he definitely won't have the firepower as the Root Riders are all gone. Royal Champ's about to go down as he enters this final section here.
A little more awkward pathing now as the Giants and Yetis go to the top side when they needed to stay concentrated on this counterclockwise push. And at that point, it looks like we are all but done with this attack. Archer Queen will get a few more pop shots off, and she is doing her best to push this percentage higher. But it would be a miraculous defense for only Bads to keep Elevate at bay with another 1-star shutdown. Seems all hope is lost for Bads, except for a miracle. Sneaky Royal Champion to dive deep into the base, catches that multi-gear tower to start things off, and with 5 more invisibilities yet to deploy, this is going to be a long bomb stab into the core. Gets a little bit of a CC pull there, and we see a couple of rocket loons popping out. Got to stay off of that minion prince, and with the invisibility spells, might just be able to pull it off, but a little bit of an awkward deploy there. It's going to force the retarget into the center. That's the last chance to make that stab at the ricochet cannons. Not necessarily the highest value targets that I'd like to see there, but Pete Castro looks pretty happy with what he's done so far in terms of funneling, and the deploy is done. Recall him out and get ready for the main attack, Harvey.
That is some nice value to start for Pete Castro as the Queen is off to the right. The poison was clearing that furnace, and it is now gone. No more furnace mites jumping across as he's going to power through into the scatter shot. Grand Warden is down. With the Apprentice Warden, going to move into the enemy Royal Champion slowly as these roots will be opening up the walls. Still yet to deploy that troop launcher. I'm curious to see when it comes down, because typically you'll be putting balloons in there so that the balloons can then get out in front of those healers and protecting them.
Headhunters nab an easy kill on that minion prince, and the tornado trap doesn't get too much value. The Root Riders are doing pretty well, staying on task here, looping.
Yeah, he continues his way to that town hall. King is going up to the top, still has the king and queen ability, hanging on to the skeleton spell, possibly to deploy when he gets close to the ricochet cannon, slash the monolith, the backside of that base. You have to be able to protect these troops, cause that distraction, but you do have a Gigabomb still awaiting in the back. 2 Yetis getting into the core of the clan castle. Yeti might as well jump the wall, go to the ricochet cannon as he's slowly still moving his way through to the backside. And he's racking up the percent, but only 30 seconds remain.
Yeah, time is getting a little bit tight here as P. Castro, who has pulled off 3 stars with just seconds remaining in the past, is going to have to try to do so again. Still has the spiky ball, and the Barbarian King is going to make his way to the backside with a Rage Gem. Now, after effect, it's gone. There's no more Rage Gem. The Grand Warden's down, and that might be the slowdown that Bernal needed to deny the triple. P. Castro can still fire that spiky ball. 5 seconds left. Bounce, bounce, bounce. 97%. 2 buildings left. And they